Welcome to the Stories of Starting podcast. I'm Heather Boyd. As a self-employed artist for the last 30 years, I'm fascinated with people's passions and creative projects. In this series, we discover how people like you have started new projects by thinking outside the box, going with the flow, and tapping into their childhood imagination. So, welcome to the podcast. Today we're here with my friend Patrick Balyan. So, Patrick, please introduce yourself and tell us what you do.
Well, thank you very much for having me on the show, Heather.
Pleasure.
Yeah, my name is Patrick. I am a creator at the core base, and that led me to starting a community with other content creators, and now we do all kinds of events and activities to helping creators grow and help each other, and yeah, it's just this beautiful movement.
Fantastic. Good. So I'm going to backtrack a little bit and tell everybody how we met. So originally I heard about when CreatorHQ used to be called Up Montreal.
Yeah.
I heard about you a few years ago, and one of your members had created a video of you guys being up at the summit and doing a sort of a tour of the lookout at the summit.
Mm-hmm.
And I was fascinated. I thought, this is so cool. I didn't even know that there was a creator community in Montreal. And my daughter and I were both doing YouTube at the time, at Mimi. And so we both signed up right away, submitted our YouTube channels and became members. And then the first event I met you at was Buffer, which is a YouTube festival in Toronto. Then after that, I really dove into the community and became a volunteer, and really just love what you guys were doing.
Yeah. I think we had like a quick event at the popsicle stand. That's where we met, I think.
Oh,
Could it be?
Yes, it's possible.
Yeah. We met for the first time, and from there, that's when we went to Buffer right after, and
yes, that's
and we were
right.
there. Yes. No, that's that definitely brings us back, and that was like about 2016.
A couple of years ago.
Yeah, because we did the
that's
huge
right.
event, and that's like we did a huge event in May of that year, and that's what made us like blow out. That's what made us get known in front of the eyes of other entities and stuff, as well as creators, and that's where we were invited to go on the summit. That's where you discovered, and many other people discovered us, and here we are today.
Yeah, it's really amazing. And I mean, personally, I've benefited so much from the community because my YouTube channel has grown a lot. I'm up to like 20,000 subscribers, and I just hit 2 million views, which is amazing.
That is insane. That's more than me, I'm gonna admit. Like I don't consider myself as a guru or anything. Yeah. Or I'm not necessarily an expert of everything, but definitely like the tips and stuff I give to people like lead to what you did too, like kind of like finding your niche, finding the certain things you want to do, the style and so on, to being where you are. And I feel like I don't even apply whatever I tell people on my stuff, just because like I have like so much going on at the same time. I can't just focus on that. But I kind of like also took a backtrack from YouTube to start focusing on my stuff, or like whether it's the events, whether it's other projects, and I kind of like gave like a little wiggly kind of road, but I still feel it's growing, but maybe not as fast as what you've seen the past couple of months.
Well, for sure for me, because I'm very niche and I'm very on one topic, but I know you have so many projects on the go, including What's Up Montreal. So can you tell us a little bit about What's Up Montreal?
Yeah, so that is like the YouTube channel that kind of got everything started right now. Just because like that was like, because I had other channels before, and that was a YouTube channel that put me in a state of like, that's my first channel that I'm thinking seriously. That's the first channel I'm thinking professionally. And so like the idea came from what we wanted to cover things around the city of Montreal. Just because I'm from the suburbs and I was going to university, so I love the city. I love discovering the city. And I love doing videos, so I just put two together and said, I'm going to be covering the things I'm discovering. And recommend them to other people, and that led me to start What's Up Montreal, and today it is recommendation based, where a lot of people are able to go on our different platforms. There's Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and so on, and get recommendations of what to see and what to do around the city of Montreal. And it became a community on its own, and it's true. This past couple of months, I would say it's really even growing exponentially, in a sense that people have been joining in the movement and starting to just capture their moments and share with us, and I find that very, very touching to see like it's doing more than what was my discoveries. It really brought the Montreal community to make their own discoveries and share those discoveries with others to help others the same way I was helping others. Yeah,
it's true. And what started with sort of this YouTube channel has really grown thanks to different platforms on the internet. I know you're really super active on stories, on Instagram stories, which is such a wonderful way. And even you've done a lot of live streams too, which is such a great way to reach people and to be interactive.
Yeah, definitely. It did open like new possibilities and new windows.
Yeah,
and that YouTube just couldn't do it on its own.
Yes.
I mean, the whole movement of video on demand it's on demand. It's on growth, and a lot of people rather consume media on demand. But even that wasn't enough interactive with your own audience, and stories are able to, you can create like different actions for people to take to react to them right away. They're only there for a temporal time, so people have no choice to react once they're up, because if not, it disappears. Doing lives, doing all kinds of the stuff we're doing online right now with our new tools and stuff are definitely giving a much more direct reaction, rather than like maybe someone's got a comment on an old video that's like 3-4 years old, and you're like, oh, I'm past that,
That's right.
So definitely things become more relevant if it's during the time, like live.
I know, because often you'll tag me in a story, and then by the time I get to it, it's already gone, because you really have to be quick. You really have to be on it to
definitely
see it. No, that's fantastic. And tell me, I know you've mentioned to me before that when you were much younger, you used to do video as well. So what would have been some of your very first videos that you did?
A lot of comedy sketches.
Okay,
actually.
cool.
I did a lot of I started with like AMVs, which is like anime music videos.
Oh, wow.
Because I had editing software. I mean, I was pretty young, so like filming would have been like that much easy access.
Okay.
So I would have I would take clips from the internet, because back then there was no YouTube, so you could just like download videos from like different platforms, like music platforms and so on. So I used to download videos from different animes I used to watch. I used to download video game footage.
Okay.
And I used to put a music track and then like sync it, kind of like making a music video out of it.
Oh, fun.
And it's actually a thing right now on YouTube. Like it's called AMV. A lot of people do it, and it's super cool.
Oh my god! So you were doing this a long time ago.
I was doing it a long time ago. I started editing at the age of 11, and that's
amazing.
Due to this Lego toy I bought when I got as a gift, and it was it had as a software. It had its own stop motion Lego software.
Oh wow!
But you couldn't create stop motion on your own. It was already shot by Lego.
Okay.
So it kind of introduced me to the whole concept of timelines.
Interesting.
Like, what is a timeline? How does a timeline work? How do you put clips one after the other? How do you add music? It started like there. So then the AMVs, I started doing AMVs. Then I started doing I had a camera, so I started filming stuff that's happening at home or around family events, and then starting to write scripts and doing funny sketches or improv, and this was before YouTube ever was a thing, so there was no way to share this online.
I was gonna say, like, did you share these at all?
Because we couldn't share them, and now I don't want to share because obviously like it involves my family members, and it's considered private, and maybe sometimes a little bit too embarrassing. But no, it was fun. That's how I started doing videos and editing and so on. And
great learning process.
And then when YouTube came to place, it gave a platform to do much more series, much more, like have a concept. And as a kid, I was always like interested in the entertainment world, so doing like videos, or like being in the rather doing videos, acting, having a TV show, having a TV channel. I used to always be fascinated with TV. I used to always watch TV, right?
Cool.
So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go on YouTube and create my own series, because obviously I'm too young to have maybe my own TV show pitched, but YouTube gave me definitely the opportunity to start whatever I wanted to do, and I did a lot of tests and stuff, but finally coming to Up Montreal was like, okay, now I have a common theme, I can have a series out of it, it can go on. I definitely wanted to do more and like more like a series, like not just like temporal videos where it's like you watch the video and you're like, okay, I get it, but it goes. But more, I wanted to do episodic things. I never got the time to actually do like a web series because that takes a tremendous, like a lot of time. But it would have been cool to create some sort of web series. But I was definitely able to create also a game show, an online game show.
Oh my gosh,
which,
that's fun.
Which was much more entertaining to watch, and you can always rewatch it. It's not like something.
Was that the race?
It was the race.
I love that. Yeah.
So it's like the What's Up Montreal videos were like you will watch it, like you will get the information, but you will not necessarily reconsume it. Some of them you would, but most of them you wouldn't. But the race one definitely allowed me to.
I love that one. I remember getting really engrossed in it.
And those were more fun to actually produce and do, like because but eventually, like maybe if I could do story building, that could be cool too. I still keep watching TV shows, and I'm like, how cool it would be like to be part of the team to producing these kind of shows.
And it's incredible that people have that opportunity now. Like I know when I started a series called Wire Lady TV, and it's like weekly live streams that I do, and it's literally like no trouble at all to do it because you just basically hop on live. So basically, you know, I've created my own TV show, in which anybody can do now on the internet. It's really amazing. Yeah,
like definitely social media and the whole internet era like gave us an opportunity to, you know, be discovered, to be able to put things out there, because it's again interesting when I look back, and besides the videos, I used to always take pictures of random stuff, whether there was architectural buildings, whether it was my food at the restaurant and stuff like that, and we couldn't share. There's nowhere to share this stuff. And people used to look at me like, you're crazy. Or I used to go out with friends at high school and take pictures all the time, and people are like, what is this kid doing?
What are you gonna do with them?
What are you gonna do? And today it's the inverse. If you're not taking a picture, you're a weirdo.
Exactly.
It's the complete opposite. So to see that dynamism, like how things change, it's fascinating for me. And it's like, because I'm always like I used to do this way before social media was a thing. So for me, it was always a passion to take pictures, to take videos, to do stuff with media, and now it's like anyone could have its own channel and stuff, and be online, just because they have the opportunity. And you're right. Like people, like a lot of people started their own TV shows, like web series. A lot of people started their talk shows, the podcast, and so on.
Well, the podcast thing is huge now, you know, and to me, I really resonated with the podcast. I actually took a course with CreatorHQ about podcasting, and I remember thinking, oh, this is interesting. I'd love to do it. So I did the course, and I thought, this is cool. I was a little intimidated with the technology, but then after having talked to you and you recommended a platform and all that, I realized, oh, this is much easier than I thought it would be. And
definitely. Even for me, like it's like, I don't know, like doing podcasts for me is less fulfilling because like I feel the challenge isn't there for me. Like I'd rather do videos and like create a story and stuff, so on. With podcasts, what I like about podcasts is that it's so easy to produce. It's so quick and easy to produce because you don't have the whole visual aspect.
Except for this one. That's
except for this one. Except for this one. But in generally speaking, like there's not much editing or anything. You just like, you know, it's very quick, easy, and it's up, and then people love it. They consume it much more easily. So it's fulfilling more in that sense, but less in the sense of like the production aspect, because it's so quick. And then one note I wanted to say, it's also like artists, but also musicians. Musicians getting the opportunity to get discovered, because like before you had to go through a label, you had to get you know, you had to be discovered by the big players and thing. To be even having your own music being played on the radio and so on. And today, you know, with Spotify and all these different apps that exist, you put your music out there, you get discovered, and possibly a radio show will call you on to put your music there, or you can make your own CDs or anything. Like it's way more accessible, and it's getting people. Like it's really showing that everyone could be creative, and everyone could put things out there. And coming back to CreatorHQ, that's the whole purpose. It's like you're able to do what you love, be who you are, and still have a platform to put yourself out there. So it's like people who say, I love doing like writing books, for example. Well, guess what? You can actually have your own ebook, and it won't cost you much, and you can have it out there, and people can discover you. So I mean, the most easy difference between the lounge and CreatorHQ is the lounge is the physical space where we are right now. It's a physical space. It's a cultural space where we stay on a neutral form of where we want to do studies, where we want to get information, where we want to put on events, represent different communities, not only CreatorHQ, but definitely represent multiple different communities that are part of the digital realm, about social media and so on, about productivity, that take part here at the 2 locations. And CreatorHQ will focus more on the creator side. It's a community for content creators. Like the lounge has its own community that regroups multiple communities, but the CreatorHQ will regroup mainly creators, especially now more in Montreal, but we're expanding. Like we have people asking us from like across North America to be present and create a branch there. But yeah, so definitely it's like we will do events all around. We will do all kinds of things, but in a very different approach, with the goals of always putting creators up front.
Yes.
That's the main thing, yeah.
So Patrick, tell us a little bit about the big creator event coming up in the fall. We had one last year, and now its second version is coming up in November.
Yes, you're talking about REC.
REC.
Right, okay,
yes.
okay. Fall is a big time for us. There's a lot happening. But yeah, so REC, so you see like REC is a perfect example of what CreatorHQ will put mostly in front.
Yes.
And we are using the facilities at the lounge. We did one last year. The whole goal was to create some sort of convention for content creators here in Montreal. We've had several different kind of conventions. They're no longer really around. They're it's very rare to see something happening here in Montreal for multiple reasons. And we really definitely wanted something that was less industry, more by creators, for creators. And REC was a perfect example of that kind of event. So it wasn't one of those big events, big creator events like VidCon and so on, or Playlist Live, VidCon. Those are like huge conventions, big spaces, big stuff. I would dream to do events like that. It could be part of their team or just create my own. I would love to do something like that. That's super, like, it's a big challenge and it's very fulfilling.
Towards it.
But the problem with bigger events right away, not only is it the question of are we gonna have the audience or not, because we could probably have the audience, but it's more of what is the end result. So again, because we're trying to put creators in front, we wanted by creators for creators, an event that's completely reflecting on the needs of content creators. And REC was a perfect example because the 3 letters represents the 3 different stages that people go through when they attend these events. By the way, everything we do is bilingual. So because especially we're in Quebec, we have a lot of French members who want to take part of it. So REC is one of the perfect examples. It was a bilingual event, and it's still going to be a bilingual event. And the 3 stages are being realization or realize. So realizing what are our flaws, realizing what we want to work on, what are our weaknesses. So then we go to step number 2, which is E, educate. We get educated on these. How can we get stronger in these? Or are we gonna take the decision of saying, okay, I'm not good at this, am I gonna delegate this? So like making those realizations through the education aspect. And C being creativity. Very important that people don't leave empty-handed. Like we have a lot of creator labs, we have activities going on so that people can actually implement whatever they learn. Exactly. And leave with something with their hands and saying, I did something today. I didn't just sit down and learn and do stuff. We'll have to say that the workshops itself are very hands-on, but then you really get to the creative part, whether it's you learn how to create a video, you do a collaboration, you do the different activities. There's so much things going on that really fills your day. And it kind of reflects the general convention format where there's multiple tracks, so you can actually choose if you want to go to the panels, which we call them rec plays, or you want to go to the workshops, or you want to go to the labs. You can really choose the different facilities.
And not only is it a great opportunity to learn practical skills, but it's such a great opportunity to collaborate. Like I've met so many people through this community and at events like that, where we've done video collaborations, all kinds of just shared ideas, all kinds of different things. Like everybody in this community has their niche, has their talents, and I find it's such an amazing synergy between all the members.
Oh, definitely, and I mean you've been observing that since day one. Any type of event we've held, whether it was REC or something else, people always end up networking, meeting each other, and deciding to collaborate and do something. And that was one of the most beautiful outcomes from what we've been doing so far. And we want to continue doing those because online communities are great. You can potentially build collaborations, but nothing beats meeting people in person.
Exactly.
And
so Patrick, another event coming up is a social media kind of detox type event. Tell us a little bit about that one.
This one's very important. Again, like where we are today, we never thought we were gonna get to this point. So, the community already, evolved from simple meetups to, having questions, having to need more and more information, more resources, to I can't do this anymore situations. And this whole social media era, especially the last year and a half, has been causing a lot of, whether it's anxiety, whether it's depression, whether it's, just generally not being happy of what's happening. And by being the community, a lot of people come to us and they do express themselves saying these things. Yeah. And then they realize they're not alone, and a lot of people are having these issues. So we said, why don't we do a detox event where we get away from our phones, and it's a no phone zone. Focus on yourself, focus on your environment, focus on the people. So we do a lot of exercises about confidence, we do a lot of exercises about connecting with ourselves, a lot of exercises about connecting with others, and just being human at the core, and finishing it off with a group discussion where we talk about things beyond the whole scope of likes and followers and so on. Because what if I ask you a question right now, and think about it, all your listeners and viewers, think about it. What are the likes? What are the followers? Honestly, how is this changing your life? So many likes is not equating happiness.
I know that you've been approached by schools to go in and talk to the kids about, how to have a balance.
Definitely. And again, that was something that we didn't expect. Like, how would I know that schools are going to call me 5 years after I started the community to say, hey, something's going wrong in the schools. And it's sad to hear, that, kids are being affected as much as we are, but they're being affected on a different level as well, because that's the only thing they know now, because they grew up with social media. And whether it is cyberbullying, whether it is overexpressing yourself, whether it is trying to keep up with the game and having the likes and so on, the whole gamification, by the way, with the apps that makes us try to get more and more and more. The kids are being sick. Principals are complaining that they're having anxiety, they're having depression.
And it's a great, sort of role model that here we are, people that are creators, we rely on social media for our business, for our livelihood, but recognize that there are problems and we need to find kind of a happy medium in this whole thing.
It's all about balance. It's all about understanding. It's a detachment. If you're able to detach yourself from the whole technology, you're gonna do good, because so it's really understanding what social media is and how it's a tool, it's a communication tool, and you can build communities and you can do stuff with it, but it stays there. Communication. The major word is communication there. So if you're ever around Montreal, I would welcome you so much to come to any of our events and stuff.
Awesome.
And if we can do more eye contact and feel more comfortable with ourselves, then let's do it.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much, Patrick, for coming on the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so happy to finally get you on and do some collaborations together. It's been such a great ride with CreatorHQ.
And thank you so much for having me. Thank you also so much for all the support you give, the help you give, and we wouldn't be doing this right now if you didn't take part in our community.
Oh, well, that's just such a wonderful thing. And so we'll see everybody the next time, and thanks so much for watching. Bye. Thanks so much for tuning in to Stories of Starting. Until next time, always remember, your story matters.